At first, it seemed like a miracle. Bella, the family's beloved dog, had gone into labor. The children clapped with joy, the parents prepared towels and blankets, and everyone waited eagerly for the cries of tiny puppies. But when the first newborn arrived, the smiles began to fade. Something about its shape, its features, didn't look right. One by one, more followed, each stranger than the last. Fear replaced excitement. Were these sick puppies? Or were they something else entirely? The family rushed Bella and her litter to the vet. But when the doctor examined them, his face went pale. With a trembling voice, he whispered words that froze everyone. "These aren't puppies." Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. And really, I'm curious, where are you watching from? Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. The house had been buzzing with excitement for weeks. Bella, the family's loyal and gentle dog, had grown noticeably larger, her steps slower, her breaths heavier. Each day, her owners watched her with pride and nervous anticipation. They had prepared everything: soft blankets, a quiet corner of the living room, and even a small heater to keep her warm through the chilly nights. For them, Bella wasn't just a pet. She was family, and this moment felt like they were welcoming new life into their home. Children tiptoed around her, whispering softly, as though she were a queen about to deliver a royal miracle. The mother kept a careful eye on Bella's every movement, noting the way her tail wagged faintly, how her eyes seemed calmer than usual. The father, meanwhile, gathered old towels and sterilized scissors, making sure nothing was left unprepared. In the evenings, Bella would lie on her side, her swollen belly rising and falling with every breath. Her owners often knelt beside her, stroking her fur, reassuring her that she wasn't alone. The family's hearts swelled with love and hope. Soon, they believed, they would hear the tiny cries of puppies filling the house with joy. The night had finally arrived. A cold wind whistled outside, but inside the house, warmth and anticipation filled the air. Bella began pacing in circles, restless and uneasy. Her breathing grew quicker, her eyes darting toward her family as though she were asking for reassurance. The children were tucked into bed, but the parents stayed close, whispering to each other as they kept a careful watch. Every sign pointed to labor. The father quickly spread the soft blankets across the floor, creating a safe nest. Bella lay down, her body trembling with effort. The mother gently stroked her fur, whispering words of encouragement. Then, with a soft whimper, Bella delivered the first newborn. But almost instantly, something felt different. The tiny creature was fragile and wriggling, but its shape didn't look quite right. Still, the parents reassured themselves. Newborn puppies often looked unusual at first. One by one, more followed. Each time Bella strained, the family leaned closer, their hearts racing with excitement. But instead of relief, their joy began shifting into confusion. The newborns didn't resemble the playful, fluffy puppies they had imagined. Their features seemed unusual, their cries sharper, their bodies unlike any litter the family had ever seen. The parents exchanged worried glances, their excitement slowly turning into unease. First, the parents tried to remain calm. They wrapped the tiny newborns in warm cloths, gently wiping them clean. But as the light revealed more of their features, unease grew stronger. These weren't the plump, round-faced puppies they had expected. Their limbs seemed too thin, their skin different, their cries piercing and unusual. The mother furrowed her brow, glancing at her husband with silent questions she couldn't put into words. The children, awakened by the noise, peeked into the room. Their eyes widened in confusion. "Why do they look like that?" one of them whispered. The father quickly ushered them back to bed, masking his own worry behind a forced smile. Inside, however, doubt gnawed at him. Something was terribly wrong. He bent closer, studying the tiny creatures. But the more he looked, the less he understood. Bella, however, seemed unbothered. She licked each newborn tenderly, nudging them closer to her belly. Her maternal instinct didn't waver for a second, even if her owners were shaken. The sight of her calm devotion made the family hesitate. Were they overreacting? Maybe this was just a rare quirk of birth. Still, deep inside, a heavy fear began to grow. The newborns didn't feel like puppies at all. The room, once filled with joyful expectation, now buzzed with confusion, whispers, and unspoken dread. The following morning, the family rushed Bella and her strange newborns to the veterinary clinic. The waiting room smelled of antiseptic, and the ticking clock on the wall only heightened their nerves. Bella lay calmly in her crate, while her owners sat stiff, clutching each other's hands. The tiny creatures wriggled inside their blankets, their cries echoing faintly. When the vet finally entered, his confident smile quickly faded as he leaned closer to inspect them. He lifted one newborn carefully, his gloved hands trembling slightly. The room fell silent. The vet's brow furrowed, his breathing deepened, and for a long moment, he didn't speak. The family exchanged uneasy glances, each second stretching unbearably. Finally, the vet whispered, These aren't puppies." His words hit like thunder. The mother gasped, covering her mouth, while the father instinctively stepped closer as if to shield his children from the truth. The vet placed the newborn back gently and adjusted his glasses, disbelief painted across his face. He explained in fragments about their skeletal structure, their odd features, and how none of it matched canine biology. "I've worked here for 20 years, he said, his voice low, "and I have never seen anything like this." His hands shook as he scribbled notes on his chart. The family sat frozen, their hearts pounding. Bella, unaware of the storm unraveling around her, continued licking her offspring lovingly. As though everything was perfectly normal, the vet took a deep breath before continuing, his voice trembling with a mixture of awe and fear. "What Bella has given birth to are not ordinary animals. Their skeletal frames and facial structures don't align with any breed of dog." He paused, adjusting his glasses again, his eyes darting nervously toward the wriggling newborns. "These look closer to wild hybrids, creatures that shouldn't even exist in a domestic home." The parents stared in disbelief. "Hybrids? That's impossible," the father stammered. "Bella's never been outside our property." But the vet shook his head slowly. "I don't know how, and I can't explain it. But what you have here defies logic. These aren't puppies in the traditional sense, and they may not grow up like any animal you've ever known." The mother clutched her chest, her eyes brimming with tears. The weight of his words settled heavily in the room. The family's joy had transformed into pure, unshakable fear. For days, the family wrestled with the vet's shocking revelation. Fear whispered that they should give the newborns away, but every time they looked at Bella, the choice became impossible. She nurtured them with unwavering devotion, guarding them as though they were the most precious beings in the world. To her, there was no question. They were her babies, no matter what the world thought of them. The father finally spoke the words no one else could. "Whatever they are, they're part of this family now." His voice was steady, though his heart pounded. The mother nodded, tears glistening, while the children hugged Bella tightly, their little hands brushing against the strange but innocent creatures. The family chose love over fear. In the end, Bella's unusual litter became a symbol of something greater, a reminder that life's mysteries can be frightening, but they can also be beautiful. Love doesn't always come in the form we expect, but it always finds a way.